Hi friends, welcome back to today's video. I was asking whether or not I should do a year in review for all the art that I did in 2023, and all of you said, please show us what you've been up to. You don't know what you were asking for, but here it is. It's all of it. It is everything. I'm not gonna just show you the pretty stuff. I'm gonna show you stuff that, of course, I have completed, and most of these you will probably recognize. And then a lot of stuff that I have been working on behind the scenes, or things that, backgrounds that I have created that I didn't feel like were going anywhere, stuff that I just used to clean my brushes and thought maybe I could use it for a video, or for a background, I should say. So I'm just gonna put it all in here in this video. It was quite daunting because I didn't really realize how much I have created this past year until I pulled it all out. And it was a little difficult to figure out how to compartmentalize and how to, put it all in one video. The easiest thing for me is to go chronologically with what I have put on YouTube starting in January of last year. So, and then I will veer into like different areas that I then got into while I was working on certain things, because I noticed that I got really fixated on a few things, such as the alcohol inks, and then I did, a series of all of these. So I want to just, I think, go that way, and hopefully I can put timestamps in the video or underneath the video, so that if there's something that you are most interested in, you can then go find it a little bit easier. But like I said, if you're just here to watch it all, I suggest you just go grab a drink now, pause the video here. I have a feeling we're gonna be here for a while, so I am loving this. There were things that I didn't realize I had created because there was so much. So let's just get started, shall we? Because I don't want to keep you waiting for too long. So this was the first one that I did in 2023 in January. And I wanted to start slowly and start with something that I was familiar with. I had done one of these word searches that you can search the first 3 words that will then be your words for the year. I don't know how to explain it, but I put them in this painting, and one was creation, one was change, and the last one was strength. And it's funny because I think I've manifested all 3 of them in their own way. And I will talk about it a little bit, because to me that was pretty important. Even though I put these words into this painting, I then put it away and I never looked at it again. Yes, it was hung up on my wall as an inspiration, but I didn't necessarily look at the words. The first one, creation, I did a lot of it, as you saw. It's quite obvious. The second one was change, and I think it was my art went through quite the change during this past year, and it will become obvious once we go through everything. And it was really fun to look back and see what I have taken and what I have left behind, and things that I would also like to revisit. And then strength, I think I can take the strength part as me becoming more confident in my art and also feeling the strength of putting it out there and letting go of some of these and use them to create something new or being able to sell them. I think it was pretty interesting that these words manifested in their own way. All right, so that was the first one. The second one I sadly could not find anymore, but it had to do with, and I will pop a picture of it in here. I don't know what I did with it, you guys, but I had all of these flyers that I reused to make art with. And then I used acrylic paint for these. And then I just painted the sheets and then I cut out circles and then I made these little flowers with them and then I stuck them on paper and I couldn't find that picture anymore. Next up, I had some acrylic paint backgrounds that I had that I wanted to do something with. And this was quite the journey if you remember how this came to life. So I loved working on this one. It was such a challenge for me. And I can see some of the elements that have resurfaced in my watercolor paintings now too. So that's quite fun. And I would love to do something like this again. So who knows? I am getting ready to work on a canvas again with acrylics and maybe something like this will come back. I want to work with layers more this year. I want to use different elements and put them on a canvas and then use that to incorporate it into my art. Give it some more depth. I have done a lot of watercolor art this past year, so I think it's time to revisit something else. I don't know. Maybe I get scared again. I go back to watercolors. Who knows? It is all so intuitive and so like spontaneous to me that I think I also don't want to put myself into a niche is what's happening, because I just want to create and I want to do something that I feel like makes the most sense to me at that time and I am enjoying the most. All right, so then we had this one, which was part of this one. It was one piece, and I cut it. I think I cut it, and then I had several different smaller pieces, and that's what I then used to create these two pieces. So much fun. I really, really loved this one as well. Does it make sense? No. But I just enjoy it. I enjoyed the process. I enjoyed, figuring out where's it going to take me next. And I want to do more of this year. Then I think it was February and this was my little Valentine's that I did, which was watercolor and doodles. And then I did another one. Grab it from over here. I did another one on canvas. This was also a canvas that I repurposed and I worked on intuitively, and you can tell because some of it doesn't really make sense, but it just evolved into this. After I painted the hearts, I did a bunch of repurposing backgrounds that I had done. So this was one of it, and I kind of sort of liked it, but then I also didn't. I think it's the wrong way around. I think it goes like that. And so yeah, I worked on it and it was fun. Something that I haven't really done before, but I didn't love it enough to make it into a video. I have a couple more that I worked on. This was also a background that I had that went through quite a few stages of backgrounds and textures. And I wanted to create something like this, and it just wasn't happening. I tried to force it too much, and it just didn't go anywhere. But I still have it, and I'm still thinking about it. And one of these days, maybe something will spark my interest. I don't know if it's gonna make it into a video or if I'm just gonna work on it behind the scenes. I think I am putting too much pressure on myself when I do a video. So when I start something new, I kind of want to work on it without all that pressure. And so I think I'm just gonna revisit this one on my own. But I also worked on this guy, and this was a very large background that I did in acrylics, and then I chose to draw this shell on it, and I really want to revisit this one. I feel quite a connection to this piece, and so I am looking forward to working on this a little bit more. How it's gonna turn out, I have no idea, guys. It's been sitting in my office for so long. And every now and then I take it out again and I work on it a little more, but I haven't touched it, I think, in a year. I worked on it after I was really successful with these ones. And I thought, oh, maybe I can finish it. And then I never did. But that's how it goes. And that's okay. All right, so then next up, I had a bunch of these. And I love the style. I love the simplicity. I love the colors. I love everything about these. And these came from having worked in one of my sketchbooks. We can just bring this one out too now, I guess. So I had, it's a sketchbook that has just multimedia paper in it. And I use this a lot for, like, you know, trying to figure out doodles. So we can flip through this one. This was inspired by one of the paintings that I did the previous year. So I just started out with doodles. And I don't think I did these last year. I think I created these the year before. This is just me trying out new things. I really love this page, and I recognize some of the doodles in my most recent paintings. I love the simplicity of this guy. And then I did it a little bit bolder. And then I had some leftover paint, I think, and I just put this in here. And then I started with these. I think I was bored and I was watching TV, and I just created these neurographic lines first, and then later on I went in and I filled them out with, I think I used these markers, the Crayola. I really like how they feel on the paper, so I use these Crayola markers to fill it in, and then I went in and doodled on it. So yeah, I get a little obsessed when I enjoy something. Just ideas. I think you might remember some of these doodles. I think I really wanted to practice. This actually looks really good. I wanted to practice these kinds of doodles, so I did them a lot. I did them here. And then I went back to just practicing neurographic lines, or to see what else I could create with the neurolines. And that was the end of this one. Yeah. So that sparked these. Let me put that away. So then I went ahead and did these two, and I really love them so much. Those are really cheap frames, and so they're all banged up. I bought them for taking pictures. Next up, we had this little guy. Still very much with the neurographic lines. This one did really well on YouTube as well. So all of these are the ones that I did videos on, so you can go ahead and, you know, revisit this. I'm gonna link the playlist for 2023 at the end of this video. There's a button, and I compiled all my videos for 2023 and I put it in a playlist, so this is in there. And then I did this one. Sometimes I go back and forth in just creating shapes that I can use to doodle on, and I really enjoyed how this one worked out. And these I most often do when I don't know what to do. When I just want to create something but I don't really know where it's going. So this is a good idea for me to spark my creativity, or, you know, to just maybe get over that initial fear of paper. Then I visited negative painting with watercolor. I started out with this one, and I didn't film myself, and I kicked myself for not filming, because this was the one that turned out the most beautiful, and I just love how this feels. And then I tried it again here, and it's okay, but this is still my favorite. And then I just did 3 more just to see how they would turn out. And I want to revisit negative painting again as well. It just takes forever. Negative painting is something that I should probably do when I want to relax and I don't have an agenda, because I just really, it takes a lot of time. Friends, then the era of alcohol inks started, and boy, it was love at first sight. It was love, and I still love it to this day. Alcohol ink for me is something that brings me so much joy. And unfortunately, these videos, with the exception for the first one where I created these ones, the videos don't do well. And so I don't want to put my time and energy into it, to be honest. I'm a little sad, but it is what it is. YouTube is really mean when it comes to pushing videos, and it just likes us to stay in our lane, basically, and it won't push videos that are different. And so yeah, alcohol ink art is not something that I will probably show on my channel, unless you guys come back and say, we want this 100%, show us more. But I want to just show you what I have done working with alcohol inks real quick. So alcohol inks, these are in no particular order. I don't remember which ones I did first, which ones came next, but I know that what I have created, and I have other things too that I want to show you guys, because alcohol inks you can use on any kind of surface that is non-porous. So I used it on tiles, and I made little coasters with it. There's a set of 4. And if you are interested in alcohol inks, this is the time for you to catch up on what I've been up to. So I created these. And this was just to try them out on the tiles. and to see, I want to resin them eventually and use them, and just to see how they hold up, stand the test of time, so to speak. But I just love working with alcohol inks. I spray them with a varnish to keep the ink from moving. And these I did as well in green. And these are not varnished yet. But that is a set. I mean, seriously, come on. How beautiful. Before I was able to put this on the tiles, I worked a lot on graphics paper, on Yupo paper. This is one of them. And then I really was forcing the issue of doodling on the alcohol inks. And I just can't do it. I don't want to cover it up too much. Here, I'll show you this one. I don't want to cover it up too much. Although I do love this, but I feel like I'm covering up the beauty that is the alcohol ink. So I don't know what to do. Then I did a lot of this. I did this, and that sparked the tiles. Can you tell? I did a lot of backgrounds like these just to figure out how do the alcohol inks move, because when I did these I used a brush with it, and I really enjoyed that process. But I also needed to work on getting comfortable with how the alcohol ink moves when I put it on the page. This was one that made it into a video, and you can tell by the I revisited these doodles. But I also then did just paintings on standalone paintings. And come on, isn't it just so gorgeous? I just love this stuff. Let's see. Before we go to these, I want to show you a few more of the other ones that I did. This one was one of the earlier ones. Come on, guys. I can't. I love it. I love it so much. Tell me this is not beautiful. And for these, I just used the backside of photo paper. You can't use the front because that absorbs all the ink, but the backside works A+. I did this. This is a cool one. Guys. Heart emoji. Another one I love. Look at the depth. I don't want to cover it up. What about this one? So much fun. This one I did on both sides because you can with the graphics paper, but I did not seal this one, so it got scratched. You definitely have to seal the paintings if you want to keep them. But this was one of my first ones that I did. Just trying to figure out what kind of alcohol ink art do I like. And just to figure out how do they mix, how do they work, how do they dry, and stuff like that. And then I did a bunch of backgrounds. Just backgrounds, guys. Just mixing and matching, and not kidding you, I did at least 100 of those. What do I do with all these backgrounds, you say? So let me show you. I went ahead, I cut them up, and I cut them into squares. I have a gajillion of squares. And each one, I choose the prettiest one. Like, for example, if I look at the colors butt up next to each other, and then I look at it and I choose whichever one looks the most beautiful. And then each one of these is a little masterpiece. So I have hundreds of these. I have them in round, and I make magnets out of them. Look at how beautiful. How beautiful is this? So I make magnets out of it. Those are the square magnets. And then I have round magnets. I made these push pins that you can use on like a memo board. How cool are these? Have I sold any of them? No. Friends, I have a problem, okay? This is me admitting that I have an alcohol ink creation problem. I create all of these things. I buy all of the supplies and I make them into things, and I have not sold them. What can I say? I made little cards, like Christmas tags, with the ones that aren't as pretty, because who wants to get rid of it? Who wants to get rid of it? Not me. Let me show you. I made these little Christmas tags. I have about 200 of them. Then I was like, okay, what else can I do with the leftovers? Because I can't use it all to create these things. This is what I created. Well, I haven't created anything yet. But these are... Do I have a problem, people? Do I have a problem? This is all the scraps that I'm keeping, because one of these days I want to create something with it. I have just squares, but that wasn't enough, guys. I wanted to keep it all. And so these are just shapes from all the scraps. I put all the scraps in here, and every now and then I sit down and I cut them. I have more squares here. I have more little circles here. I have rectangles I want to make into cards or more tags, like Christmas tags. It's a problem. I have also used the alcohol inks on repurposed ceramic vases. This is a cup that had a lid that didn't fit, that I tried the alcohol inks on, and I just love how this one turned out. I have not been able to recreate this style on other things that are cylindrical shaped, so it takes a little bit of practice to do this. But I am going to seal this as well and then use it as a vase or something. It's amazing how alcohol inks are so versatile. I've also tried it on, here comes the ugly part. I tried it on canvases. There's different things that I tried on this one, didn't work out. I have tried it on this one. I've tried to do something a little more similar to what I do with my doodles, and it's kind of funky, but I'm not a fan of it. And these canvases had something else on it before, so I just repurposed it. I put some primer, and then you can use alcohol inks on these. A couple other crazy ones that I tried that are going to be repurposed. I tried to blow the alcohol inks on this one. And it started out really cool looking, and then, I don't know, it didn't go anywhere. And this last one here, I don't remember what I tried, but again, it didn't work out. That was it for alcohol inks. I have lots more, but I think I'm done talking about alcohol inks now for a minute. Except for the next one of my videos was this guy here. And that was kind of funky to do. Again, I tried to put some doodles over it. And while it's funky and interesting looking, it's covering everything up that is beautiful. So I've just come to the conclusion that alcohol ink, unless I use it for like magnets and things like that, just need to be on their own, because that's how they shine the best. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know. And also let me know, do you want me to do more of those alcohol ink videos? Because I can certainly do it. It's just that they're not going to be as many because of the exposure that it doesn't get. Let's just put it that way. All right, we're going to move on because there is still lots and lots more to come. This one was another repurposed acrylic painting that I did with neurographic lines and then doodles, also in a video. And then I tried a couple more times what it would feel like to use alcohol inks and then doodle on. So I did this one. And I think I covered, this is just watercolor paper that I covered in, I think it was a mixture of water and Elmer's glue. And that also lent for a non-porous surface that I could then use the alcohol inks on. And then I wanted to see what it felt like to use the markers on top of that, which I liked a little bit better. The marker on top of the graphics paper or that very slick paper, to me, just feels a little bit too slippery. I'm not used to it. So that's what that was all about. This one was the next one in the video series. This is another alcohol ink one. I actually used the masking fluid on this one just to keep some of those areas clear from the alcohol ink that I could then use to doodle in. And I like this better because it does not take away from the alcohol ink background. So this was definitely a win in my books. All right, this one was another one with the ribbons that I had a whole sketchbook filled with, and I just love the simplicity of these guys. And I liked the shading that I did. Really enjoyed this one. Then I wanted to do something a little bit more simple, and not simple in style, but something that I didn't have to think about too hard. So I did this one. It's another one of those that I do when I don't know what else to do, basically, and I just want to do something creative. So this is watercolor again. And I didn't do many dots with my, I don't think I discovered the dot making with my dotting tool. I don't think, oh, that's interesting. So I have not used my dotting tool on this one. I used the white pen, but I did not use the dotting tool then yet. Interesting. This one did really well on YouTube. A lot of you guys loved this one, and I like it too. I like the colors. I like how vibrant it is. I like that it's bold and, you know, makes a statement. And then this one, a lot of you loved. How does it go? I think it goes this way. There's a lot of cool elements to this one. I really enjoyed this one too. Green is not a color that I naturally gravitate towards when I paint. So this was kind of interesting to me in the sense that I didn't know that I would like it as much as I did, because I don't tend to gravitate towards green, but a lot of you did, so. And then I did this one because I wanted to revisit this guy here. I kind of wanted to try this part out one more time on its own and see if I could play with that a little bit. So that's what I did here. And this one was fun. This is canvas paper and acrylic ink with neurographic lines and doodles. And I think I used the, I have a set of Artist Loft neon acrylic inks, not acrylic inks, acrylic paint that I tried on this one, and I just want to use them up, and so that's why I chose to make a painting out of that. This, I think, was one of the first ones where I used the dotting tool. I really like how this one turned out. It's bigger in size, so it took me a little bit of a little bit time to fill it all up, but I really enjoyed it. I held it the wrong way because of the little mushroom caps that are going up. So that was that. These I did so many of because I really like the color scheme. I really started leaning heavily into the dotting. I think that was the start of me really enjoying using the dotting tool and the acrylic paint to do the dots with. And I have a bunch more of these. Let me pull them out so I can show you. So I did this one. Oh, these are my favorite ones. I think the reason why I ended up not using this one is because the colors seeped through my tape. And so I redid it and I did this one, but oh, I love this so much. And this was done with heavily diluted acrylic paint and a lot of water. I did this one. I liked the doodles, but I didn't necessarily like the colors, the background colors so much. But that was another one that sadly didn't make it into a video. I did this one. And I don't remember what happened to this one and why it didn't make it. I really like this one. That's kind of cool too. I need to take photos of these and put them on Instagram so you guys can look at them over there. And then I did this one also with acrylic paint, diluted acrylic paint. This one was also fun. A multi-directional one. You can pick and choose how you want to hang it up if that's what you choose to do with it. So that was that era. Put these to the side. And I enjoyed this one. That was another one of these that had just this element, and then I saw the heart, so I made that a little bit more predominant and then filled the rest in with just simple doodles. I think there's another one of these around somewhere which I had worked on before I did this one, and then chose to do this one as a video. I don't know where the other one went so I'm not sure. Here's another one that looks like that first one, and you can see that my style all of a sudden is changing. Here's my burrito with a butterfly shooting something out of its behind. Y'all got a good chuckle out of that one. Guys, I'm not making fun of my paintings. I just see something and then I can't shake it off. That's how this turned out. I'm wondering if let's just go through the rest of these. I did this one first, and then I didn't like the background, and so I did the smaller one, and this one made it into the video, if I'm not mistaken. And then this one I did, I ended up decorating as well. And I was going to put this on Patreon, but Patreon never really happened. It's just, for me, just working on videos is just too much. I'm wondering if I should use Patreon for lives. That would be a better idea. But the thing is, I work on these for so long, and I don't know how to make it work in a live. Because I don't want to force myself to do something. What if I create a background and then I don't know how to proceed? That would kind of be a bummer. So I've put Patreon on hold. This was my Hawaii one when there were the fires in Lahaina in Maui. I felt inspired to do this one. And this one was one that I did just kind of splotches of colors, and then I put doodles on. I really enjoyed this one too. This is, I think, my all-time favorite of this year, and I did not think it would be. So yeah, if you want to go watch it, that one is on YouTube. You all loved this one, and I still cannot see what you guys love about this one so much. But it did really well on YouTube, so thank you all so much. So yeah, this one was the first one I think I used the ruling pen. That's what it's called for these lines. I tried the ruling pen with this just to maybe steer away from the black ink of the markers, but also to try to not incorporate neurographic lines so much. So that's what this one turned out to be. And I did a few of these in that color scheme, and let me see if I can find those. I thought I had more than one, but I did this one that never made it into a video. I may have shown it in the video, but I don't think I showed the process of how I made this one. So this one definitely made it in. And then I did this one. Oh yeah, so see, this one looks similar to this guy, but because I already had this one in a similar one of these, I created something similar here with some similar doodles, but in blue. And this one made it into YouTube. This one you guys loved. It had the bubbles. I called this the bubble doodles. Everybody enjoyed this one very much, and I still love this one as well. I really like all those fine lines, and I enjoyed this one. It kind of reminds me of an eyeball. Yeah, this was fun as well. A lot of you enjoyed this one. So another green one that everybody enjoys. You guys like the greens, huh? Which, you know, it's fine. Not one of my favorites, but you all really enjoyed this one. And then I again did the ruling pen, and I tried this guy. I don't remember how to hold it. I think it was this way. How does it go? Nope, I think it was this way. It doesn't matter. Watercolor on cotton paper, and I tried to rip the edges to make it look a little bit more worn, and I think I like that effect. And I also did this one. I tried the ruling pen and just straight up sepia liquid acrylic paint, I think, but the sepia was almost too dark. And so I diluted it a little bit with water, and then I did this one, and I dubbed it the potato painting because they look like potatoes. I really enjoyed the lines a lot better because they are much lighter, and you can see that they're light brown. I think I actually worked on those at the time I worked on this one. That's possible because I used, I think, the same sepia that I used on this one. Who knows? It doesn't matter. All right, what's next? Next, I did the Rough Arches watercolor paper, and I don't want to touch it because I'm still feeling a little icky about touching this watercolor paper. But I used my first set of Daniel Smith watercolors, and I just wanted to try it out. And we took a poll on which one I should show first, and you guys voted on them. So I think this one was first, and then I uploaded this one, and then it's this one I uploaded last. But that was just me trying to figure out these colors and then also the watercolor paper. This one was an inspiration from a mosaic artist that I took from. It's also on YouTube. And we're getting down to the last few of the year. Everybody enjoyed this one. I have a couple more of, I keep saying a couple more. I think there's only one other background of these ones with the graphite, Kuretake graphite watercolors that did not make it into the video, and I'll show that next. It's in the discard pile. I call it the discard pile, but clearly I still have it, and so guys, I try not to throw away my backgrounds when they don't turn out. When I say discard, I don't want to work on them at the moment, but clearly I have a bunch of them still left. This was also a favorite of mine. I really enjoyed that it has a story almost, and that's what I enjoy about this one. This one too, I really enjoyed, even though I fluffed up on that side, but I fixed it, so this is kind of funky. I really like, I would like to make one of these again, actually. That was a lot of fun to make, so maybe, I don't know, maybe off camera I will work on one of these. I also love this one, even though they looked like teeth in the beginning. Again, guys, don't take me too seriously. This one was done in December, I think. It has nice little Christmassy feel. I did a couple more that were, I think, in the same color scheme. And now that I'm looking at my progression in my videos that I've uploaded, this one actually came later. Guys, my dog ripped 2 of my paintings to shreds. I came home one day and there were paper pieces all over the floor, and I come into the office and she had grabbed them off the furniture and just ripped them to shreds. I don't know. I think she was a little jealous that I was spending a lot of time in the office. She can be in here. She has a place to stay in here, but you know, she wasn't there and I was in here working. Who knows? Another one of these that I just enjoy this shape so much because it's got so much potential to doodle in that I really wanted to revisit. So I did this one also because I was doing the daily uploads for Vlogmas, and so I was a little burnt out then already. So I just revisited something that I had already done. This one was inspired by one of the Vlogmas pieces that I did, and I have another one of these backgrounds that I have not doodled on yet. That was that one, and this one was the last full-length video of the year. Another green one, another one that, you know, didn't really speak to me, but then I started doodling on it and I deemed it worthy of being put into a video. So let's go quickly through my Vlogmas ones. These are just, I chose to do them smaller because I knew I had to do 24 and the bigger pieces just take up a lot of time. So let me zoom you in for that. So let's just look at them again. This was number 1. I think I have them all in order, but if not, that's fine. This one was the second one. This one was number 3. I enjoyed this one too. I like the color scheme of that one, and I love the bubbles going up. This one was the garden one with the flowers, I guess you can call them. That one was another fun one. This one I did with the cling foil, my wonky flower. This one is the little monster, the one-eyed monster with ears and teeth and a mouth open and the eyelashes. Isn't that so cute? And then this one is upside down too. That goes like that. And then this one, I knew I could slap on some watercolor, let it dry, and then doodle on. So I figured I could do a lot of these in a short period of time. And so they really worked for the shorts. And you guys seem to enjoy them too a lot. So thank you for tuning in and watching them. And all of these shorts are still up. You can still go and watch them if you want. This one was cool too. Kind of almost retro. And then we have some more red with lots of lines. This one was another one where I used the cling foil. This might be my least favorite of the bunch, just because I don't like the green and red combo as much. But I thought maybe it was, you know, Christmassy with the gold. And then this one, you have seen something like this before lots of times. And then this is the mini one of the one that I did bigger. More with cling foil. I should really work more with cling foil. I like the results that it gives. It's fun to work with. I'm not usually someone that uses salt or the cling foil or other elements to play with the watercolors. Maybe I should. I don't know. I just don't ever think of it. Maybe I should have it out more on my desk and then I would remember it. This is also a combination or another style of the same elements that I have used before, and such is this one. I really like doing these. They're so fun and so easy to do. And then that one and the last one where it is more something that you actually know what it's supposed to be. At least I hope so. Somebody was asking me if I could go over my little sketchbook again with my doodles, so I will do it here in this video. So what I did was Cece's Creations did these travel sketchbooks, a tutorial, and I got that idea from her. And I've tried to find the video again, and I've watched so many of her videos and I didn't save it for myself, so I cannot remember which one of hers is she explains how to do this. So basically the way I use these is you can put leftover paint in them, or you can paint some shapes that you think you could doodle on later. It's basically to take the book with you, and it already has a background on it, so you can just, you know, if you have to wait at the doctor's office or wherever, you can take out your pen and you can start doodling. So that's what that is for. So I took it on vacation with me last summer and I worked on it a little bit. I had created this a while ago, and this is what I came up with. So this just had blobs. This one I used my watercolor pencils on, and the acrylic dots from the dotting. When I closed it up, it transferred the color from the other page. That's why they got a little bit darker. And then these were just ovals. I had these, most of on that side I already had. This one was done with watercolor pencils and water again. Here I thought sticks would look fun, but then I lost interest. Haven't gotten to doodle on this page yet. And these two I enjoy the most because there's so much going on. And then these ones started out as triangles, and then I didn't really like it. And so I took some water to it and smudged it a little bit more. And then some more circles here that I didn't get to finish. And then with this one, I did the squares first. And then in the empty spaces, I put my lines in. And then I filled it with doodles and dots. And I still have a couple of spaces left. So that's that. What else do I have? I think we're gonna continue on with the things that stayed backgrounds or just didn't make it into a video. And then I want to talk a little bit more about maybe what I have plans for my future. How about that? All right, what do we have here? Just a page that I put leftover paint on. Nothing special. Who knows? I might create something really awesome with this one day. We don't know. Again, I had an idea, I think, of doing some circular. I had a lot of circular backgrounds that I was trying to use for a design, and you'll see that later on. So that was one of them. This was a background that I didn't like how it turned out because the paint had already dried and left some darker spots behind. But you know, one of these days I might find it cool and I will work on it. So we're just gonna keep it. It still even has the tape on. So pretty sure, you know, it'll show up somewhere. This is something, again, with a circular, I think that was supposed to be one of the Vlogmas paintings that I decided I wasn't going to continue. And I wanted them to try out. I had a stamp that I wanted to try. I don't have a stamping pad, so I had to use, I don't remember what I used. I think just some of the acrylic ink, or not the ink, but the acrylic paint, the liquid acrylic paint, and stamped it on just to see what it would look like. This is the paper that I bought in England, in Bath. It's 100% cotton, it's handmade. And I wanted to try it. I have never worked with paper like this before, and it's very delicate, so I have to learn how to play with paper like that. Next, what's up next? Oh, that is one of the backgrounds that I did with Kuretake graphite colors that didn't make it. But again, it might show up in a later video, or I'll just doodle on it for myself. This is something that I was trying out. Every now and then I get the urge to be painterly and to be very precise. And I also wanted to see if I could do a reverse neurographic lines. So if you look at it, the lines are actually rounded, the corners I mean. So I thought maybe this would be something that I could potentially be interested in, but then I lost interest in doing that. Still very cool. And I have another one that I doodled on that I was wondering, should I put it into a video, and then it never made it into a video. This is another background. This is the same Daniel Smith colors, watercolors, that I did the 3 paintings on that I posted on YouTube. This is another one that I was hoping would make it into a video, and then it never did. It is the Art Nouveau set of the Kuretake watercolors. And I wanted to try another one with the vermilion in it, and somehow this reminded me too much of a boot, and then I dropped it because it was like, no, I don't like it. So that's how it happens, you know. I can start doodling and really like it, and then I feel like I messed it up, and then I put it aside. It's not messed up. It's just, you know, I didn't feel it. I don't know how to explain it. Oh, that was when I was trying out the Mill Yang watercolors, and I had worked on a few different backgrounds to include into that review video, and then this one didn't make it. But, you know, it's kind of cool. Looks like a tree. This one is one of the round designs that I was trying out. Just something different. I have a big one that's coming up that also didn't make it. This is another one of those. This was a one that I used a masking fluid. I wanted to see if the lines would turn out crisper, but they didn't. So I still doodled on it, but it never made it into a video. Another one of the graphite Kuretake watercolors. I don't think this one made it into a video. I might have shown it, but I don't think it made it into a video. They all look the same to me. This one too, I was trying to work with circles on a very, very busy background. Never really made it into a video or further. I gave up. I really enjoyed this one, and that one was another one I was sad that I didn't film when I created it. Sometimes I think it doesn't work out, and then it does, and then I'm sad I didn't film it. So that should teach me a lesson, huh? Always have the camera on, you never know. But yeah, I really liked how this turned out. All right, next. This one, also, I was very happy with how it started out, and then something just said, nope, not gonna go further. I think it was because of these guys, but I can't be certain now. I love the colors and I love the underwater feel it gives, but I don't know, something about it just didn't work out for me. This one, again, didn't make it into a video. Here's another one of those. reversed neurographic lines, kind of, sort of, that I actually doodled on. And yeah, looks kind of fun, but also did not make it into a video. And then this one, I think I was trying to challenge myself to work with a color scheme that I wasn't too fond of, and yeah. I like the overall design, the colors don't speak to me, and so that was the reason it didn't make it into a video. Again, this was another one. I think I was trying to come up with an idea for Patreon, and then it just never worked out, so you know. I made a few of these because I wanted to try out different techniques. I wanted to see if I could use the, remember the design that I did on the big piece of paper earlier in the video with the Nautilus shell. So I was trying to see, I really like this, the shell type. And I was trying to work with different techniques of watercolors and then see if I could doodle on. And I like it, and it's definitely something I want to keep working on, but I just haven't had the time yet. Next up, yes, this one. We all recognize this one from earlier on. It was at the last half of December that I did this. I just love these colors. Aren't they so pretty? I think I used the Mill-Yang watercolors on this one. They're just so vibrant. Here's a big one. Those are the thinned out acrylic paints, if I'm not mistaken. And I had an idea, and then it just never went further. But I'm holding on to it. This was another one of the circle ones. Again, the colors scheme is not my favorite. Yeah, I don't know what happened to that one. However, there's something that's intriguing to me, and so I'm holding on to it. This was another one that I abandoned. I don't know, I can't remember now why. I think I didn't like how the bubbles turned out, which is silly, because now that I'm looking at it, I really like it. And I love the little flowers. It's an underwater seascape. I don't know. I have to see if I have the footage of this one still, and if I do, maybe it'll make it into a future video. But if not, this will be the last time you probably saw that. Sorry. That was another background that I made a video on, and let me see if I can grab it. It was, I can't find it quickly enough. Oh, this one. This one. It was just too dark. I knew I wanted some white in it, but the background was just too dark for me. So I redid it, and I liked this one much better. So, but I'm holding on to it. Another watercolor background that never made it further. I think it was too plain for me, so I skipped it. Then I did a bunch of these little ones. Look at how cute. Aren't they so cute? All little different scenes. This was a full sheet that I had taped off with washi tape, and then just filled the whole sheet with paint, and then doodled each individual square or rectangle. But they're so cute. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, guys. Maybe I'll make it into a card or something. I don't know. Here is something else that I was trying out. Again, you know, I wanted to be a little bit more precise. Sometimes I get tired of just throwing down colors, and then I want to be more precise, but I don't know. It's a background for something. This was the one that I did before I did the one that I posted on video. Again, I tend to make a couple of similar backgrounds and then I choose which one I like better for a video. I have not doodled on this one yet, but I will in the future. Another one of those that I filled a sketchbook with, just lines, and I wanted to see if I could pursue it. It's not finished, and I like where I was going. It's kind of a snake shape that I found within the neurographic lines, which is kind of cool. And I used the markers and the color pencils with it too. So, you know, it's one of these days. If I feel bored, I will come back to it. I have so many to come back to. I don't even know when I'm gonna do all of it, but you never know. Another one of these backgrounds, same ones that I could use the spaces to do lots and lots of doodles in. So who knows? This was another Valentine's design that I did first, and then I didn't like how I sprayed it with water, which I shouldn't have done, and I got these splotches that I didn't like at the time, and then I moved on to the one that I did the lines with, and that was the one that I posted. I still have it. I might turn it into something, but for now it's in the discard pile. This is a background. I don't remember what I used for this one, what colors. But yeah, it has a lot of potential, but it requires a little bit more brain power. You know what I mean? So it's in the discard pile. This one was just paint that had dripped onto this paper from something else, and this one as well. And I don't remember what I was working on, but again, it's the green and the red together, and it's just not my color palette, but I'm keeping it just in case. This one never made it into a video. I think I might have worked on this one first. I really liked how I got the texture. I think what I used was the colored pencils with water, and I really liked how it dried, but then the doodles on top didn't do it for me, so that's why it never made it into a video. This is a piece of cardboard that I use to doodle on. This is acrylic paint, and then just my markers, and this made it into a short, I think. This one, I'm going to talk about this in a second. Again, leftover paint, I think. I'm not sure. It has potential, but it needs to go in the discard pile for now. This one also was leftover paint that I could potentially put, do something with, but for now it's not sparking anything. So this was when I was working on the other two graphite ones. That was the leftover paint, and obviously, I can't really use it for anything because then I used it for something else. So yeah, that's what happens. Another square one. I really like these designs. These are so fun to do. And I love the color scheme of that one. So that's that. And then there was another one that I did, very similar. So cute. Anyway. This was a swatching that I did. Actually, that goes in the 2024 pile, so did not do that last year. Again, more circles with doodles. Super cute. Oh, and then I did a couple of more realistic things. Every now and then, the same with, you know, trying to be a little bit more precise with my colors. I want to actually draw something and then use it as a to fill in with watercolors. And then I wasn't sure if I should outline it with the markers first, or if I should use the watercolor on it first. So I did both. I haven't finished it, but you know, maybe, I don't know, those would make really cute stickers, like a sticker sheet. I don't know. It's probably never going to make it into a video because those are not the kinds of videos people watch on my channel. But yeah, I have a love for mushrooms. So that's where that came from. And then I also last year, like when I went on vacation, I've already showed this. I filled my sketchbook a little bit more with just different backgrounds that I could try and doodle on. My kid did this background because I was running out of ideas. I'm like, hey, do you want to paint something? Paint me a background. So that's what they came up with. And then this is another background, more backgrounds, lots of different backgrounds. This was, I was trying out the Art Nouveau, and then I was trying out the cling foil. And this is going to be in a video very soon, so I'm not going to show you more of that. That was a quick sneak peek that you weren't supposed to see. So I'm going to put it away. I also worked on a concertina book because I was intrigued by concertinas, and so I wanted to try it out. And I started and I put lots of layers on, and I really liked working on this. And then I was trying out my my intuitive, like, you know, can I see shapes in it? And unfortunately, acrylic paint sticks to each other. Looks so cute. I really love this one. And they all, when you unfold it, they all kind of start to flow into each other. And then there is like water, and then this one doesn't have anything. And then the back side, again, I just started it, but I haven't finished it. Lots and lots of potential. And for me to do these is kind of to not be too precise. I just want to, not that I am, but I just want to play. And this was fun to play with. And then I also made some with sandwich wrap paper, some backgrounds that I think I used, I don't know, is this acrylic paint or watercolor? I don't remember. But I want to have some more things that I can play with and use for layering stuff. So I also worked on these. And we're almost done, guys. We're almost done. You've been so great. Thank you for hanging in there with me. So let me come back to these ones. I had the idea of making a sheet like this with just doodles that I liked to do over the course of last year. Just elements that I really enjoyed doodling on. And so I did all of these. These ones were all on a sheet of paper, and then I cut them out. And then I looked at it and I'm like, this would make really cool stickers. Something nobody has done before, or at least not to my knowledge. What a cool sticker would that make, right? But, you know, some I like more than others. And it's an idea, and I don't know if it's gonna amount to anything, but I have lots of these. Well, lots, again. I have a couple more. Let's just say it that way. I have a couple more. So yeah, I don't know. I will scan them in, I will work with it, and I will see if there's something else that will come from it. So that is it as far as what I have collected over the past year. Some of you ask me, so what do you do with all the creations that you've done over this period of time? And this is the truth of the matter. They are sitting in a box. Some of them I have hung up on the walls, and that's all I've been doing with them. I have certainly gained a desire to make more of my art. And like I said, you know, I was thinking of maybe creating stickers or bookmarks. Even if I really like a piece, I might even make it into a print. I might even sell my original art. I don't know yet. I don't know if I'm quite there yet, but I really enjoy making things with my hands. And so I've kind of been missing that element in my life. I'm definitely in the process of taking this more serious than I have over the last couple of years. And that makes me excited. So anyway, I'm trying to manifest. I'm trying to manifest something. Now I have to clean up all this mess and put my paintings back into the little box until I figure out what the next step is. I definitely have some ideas, and I'm excited to figure out what the next things are that I can do with what I've created. I mean, clearly I have enough magnets and pins. So maybe it's time to let go and start selling my products. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. There's definitely a lot of things that I can work with, and I just have to figure out what I feel comfortable releasing. Until then, I am just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna produce my videos, make paintings, explore more avenues, and whenever I'm ready to take it to the next level, I will announce it here, of course. So thank you so much for sticking with me until the very end. I know this was a very long video and I talked a lot, but hopefully you were able to put me on in the background and do something alongside. It was a lot of fun looking back and seeing what I have been up to. So thank you for joining me. I am going to be working on my Friday video next, so you're gonna hopefully get 2 videos out of me this week. I am not quite sure yet what I'm going to work on, but I'm sure I will come up with something. So anyway, thank you all for coming along this journey with me, and I will see you in the next video.